Hello everyone, it's Daz, and this week's discussion is going to be part 3 of the Death Cult series, and I know some of you have been waiting for a new edition for a while, and I apologize it's taken me a little over a year to get back to it, and I apologize in advance as I discuss the Beast of Satan if any of the names are mispronounced. A lot of them are Italian names, and Italian is not one of the languages that I'm familiar with. The Beast of Satan, otherwise known as Bestia di Satana, are a heavy metal band and Italian satanic death cult. This cult was tried and convicted for a series of satanic ritual murders between 1998 and 2004. The slayings were called one of the most shocking crimes in post-war Italy by the BBC. In January of 1998, a young couple, 19-year-old Chiara Marino, who was a shop assistant, and her boyfriend, Fabio Tollis, a 16-year-old student and heavy metal musician, spent what appeared to be a normal Saturday night, drinking beer and listening to heavy metal music at Midnight's Pub, which was the center of the city's metal scene. They were hanging out in a group of 8 to 10 people, all of whom were members of the Beast of Satan sect. Little did they know they would later become the first 2 victims of a brutal murder in the woods near Soma Lombardo. A few hours before, Nicolai Sapone had forced Fabio Tollis to call home and tell his father he did not intend to come back home that evening, because he preferred sleeping with his girlfriend. Fabio's father, Michael Tollis, realized something was fishy about the call and tried to reach back out to his son at the midnight to have a word with him, but it was already too late. The couple had befriended the Beast of Satan band members Andrea Volpe, Nicolai Sapone, Marco Macione, Pietro Guerrieri, and Giuseppe Bontade. They later left Midnight Pub in several cars and regathered in the woods near the site where a hole had been dug. Cult members realized that a human sacrifice would be offered to Satan. No one knew who it would be. Volpe pointed to 19-year-old Chiara, known as the Vestal of Satan, and advanced with a knife to kill her. She also had a knife and tried to defend herself. Fabio, her boyfriend, who had a larger stature and stood at 6'2" and 220 pounds, came to her defense. Giuseppe Bontade was asked to join in, but he refused to join. Volpe and the others attacked Fabio, who was stabbed. Pietro Guerrieri, who presented himself as the medium of the group and earned Fabio's trust as his best friend, beat him with a heavy hammer in the head, and Fabio fell into a 5-foot deep pit. Chiara was stabbed in the heart and fell into the hole after him. Both were still breathing. Volpe jumped into the hole with a spade and finished them off. They were buried. Blood was everywhere. The cult members burned their gloves. The 3 danced on their graves, laughing and screaming, "Now you're both zombies. Try to get out of this hole if you dare," and left. The next day, Volpe returned to the scene and spread several gallons of ammonia around the site to keep the dogs away. The authorities ruled that the couple must have run away together for a love affair, as their friends suggested. But Fabio's father didn't accept this explanation, suspecting something was wrong as he was already investigating because of the strange call he received earlier. 2 years later, in 2000, members of the sect drugged Giuseppe Bontade and challenged him to a drive at high speed, causing the car accident that killed him. He knew about the killings and was threatening to go to the police. In January of 2004, the Beast of Satan targeted 27-year-old Mariangela Pezzotta, who was a shop assistant and ex-girlfriend of group member Andrea Volpe. Volpe and his fiancée, an 18-year-old high school student, Elisabetta Ballerin, who was a runaway from an upper-class family. The couple invited Volpe's ex-girlfriend over for a dinner, and a fight broke out between them. She knew too much about the killings of Marino and Tollis, and Volpe shot her in the throat, but she wasn't dead. He called the other Beast of Satan cult member, 25-year-old Sapone, who was upset and said, "You can't even kill a person," and threatened him. Sapone helped the couple hide her body in the greenhouse of Ballerin's parents' home near Gola Seca, not too far from Soma Lombardo. They hit her several times with a heavy spade and buried her alive. Later, Sapone returned to his house and the couple took a heavy dose of cocaine and heroin and decided to get rid of Pezzetta's car by driving it to a nearby river. They crashed on their way to get rid of her car and were arrested. They both were upset, but Volpe confessed to the murder of his ex-girlfriend during the interrogation, and other details came out that led to the discovery of Marino and Tollis buried bodies, as well as the revelation of the sect's existence. Other mysterious murders and suicides in northern Milan, particularly those that occurred when the moon was full or new, are being reopened to see if they are related to the sect. The group was also suspected of the murder of another one of Volpe's girlfriends, Maddalena Russo, which took place on Friday the 13th in September of 1985. On February 22nd of 2005, Andrea Volpe and Pietro Guerrieri were sentenced in the northern city of Busto Arsizio to 30 and 16 years imprisonment, respectively. Volpe, in addition to the 1998 murders, was also found guilty of the 2004 slaying of Pezzotta. In Volpe's case, the sentence was a decade longer than requested by prosecutors. A third suspect, Mario Macione, had also confessed to the murders but was cleared due to his secondary role in the crimes. The reactions of the victims' families in the sentencing were mixed. Michael Tolis, the father of Fabio, said, "Today justice rewarded me." Lena Marino, mother of slain Chiara, was outraged and at the relatively light sentence Volpe and Guerrieri had received due to their cooperation with prosecutors. She stated, "They are murderers. It's not fair." 5 more members of the group went to trial in June of 2005 and were sentenced to long prison terms in early 2006. Nikolai Sapone, leader of the group and the person suspected as the mastermind behind the killings, received a life sentence. The other 4, Paola Leoni, Marco Zampolo, Eros Monterosso, and Elisabetta Ballerin, received sentences between 24 and 26 years for their role in all 3 murders. In 2007, the Court of Appeal confirmed the life sentence for Sapone and lengthened the convictions of the other 3 members of the group. Paola Leoni passed from 26 years to a life sentence, Marco Zampolo from 26 years to 29 years and 2 months, and Eros Monterosso from 24 years to 27 years and 3 months. The sentence for Elisabetta Ballerin was reduced from 24 years and 3 months to 23 years. In May of 2008, the last step, Court of Cassazione confirmed all the appeals decisions. The crimes occurred against a background of growing concern in Italy that Satanism and the occult were becoming increasingly attractive to Italian youth. In February of 2005, a Roman Catholic university connected to the Vatican began offering a 2-month course on diabolical possession and exorcism for priests and seminaries. In reaction to the crimes, priest Don Aldo Buonito called for death metal to be banned, saying if music makes itself an instrument for nefarious deeds and death, it should be stopped. In light of revelations from the Beast of Satan investigation and trial, as well as growing public concern, Italian police stated their intention to create a special unit focusing on new religious sects, particularly Satanists and other violent ritualistic groups. It would coordinate nationwide investigations into potentially dangerous new religious movements and planned to include psychologists and a priest who is an expert on the occult. I just wanted to share this story because we talked about death cults like the Thuggies as well as Santa Muerte and the different crimes and atrocities that they've committed for their belief. This group is linked directly to Satanism, but it was also a band and had several members, all of whom took on different roles, and anyone wasn't safe from them who befriended them or dated them for that matter. But I'd like to know what you guys' thoughts are on the Beast of Satan. Do you think that there are other bands / death cults out there that could be committing murders? And what do you think about the sentencing of each member? I'd like to know your thoughts, and let me know what other death cults you'd like to hear about in future weeks, months, years. Thank you for listening, and I hope you all have a wonderful week. Take care, and God bless.